Welcome to Pioneer's Knowledge Hub.
Have you ever wondered what life would be like without seasons? It's a tantalizing thought, isn't it? Imagine a world where the colorful fall leaves never crunch beneath your feet, or the soft snowflakes never blanket the landscape in winter. A world where the rejuvenating spring rains and the blistering summer heat are things of the past. In our daily lives, we're constantly touched by the ebb and flow of seasons. They shape our activities, our moods, even our foods. But what if we were to remove this cyclic pattern from our world? What would a seasonless Earth look like? Our journey today takes us into this intriguing thought experiment. We're going to delve into the heart of this question and unravel the fabric of a world without seasons. But before we dive into this new world, let's take a step back. Well, to understand the implications, we first need to comprehend why we have seasons in the first place. If you think it's the distance from the sun that causes seasons, you're not alone. But you are mistaken. The simple truth is the distance between the Earth and the Sun has a minimal impact on our seasons. Instead, the changing seasons are primarily caused by our planet's axial tilt and its elliptical orbit. Let's start with axial tilt. Earth doesn't stand straight up and down, instead it tilts on its axis at an angle of about 23.5 degrees. This tilt means that as Earth orbits the Sun, different parts of the planet receive different amounts of sunlight at different times of the year. When the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, it's summer in the north and winter in the south. Half a year later, when the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, the seasons flip. Now, onto Earth's elliptical orbit. You might be thinking, wait, doesn't that mean we're closer to the sun at some points in our orbit? Yes, it does. But remember, it's not the proximity to the sun that causes the seasons, it's the angle of sunlight hitting the Earth. Even when we're closest to the sun, if the tilt of the Earth is away from the sun, it's winter. In essence, the Earth's axial tilt and its elliptical orbit work together to create the seasons. As the Earth orbits the sun, the tilt of the planet changes relative to the sun. This change in tilt affects the angle and intensity of sunlight hitting different parts of the Earth, which in turn leads to the changing of the seasons. So, the next time you're enjoying a warm summer day or bundling up against the winter chill, remember, it's not about how close we are to the sun, but how our planet leans towards it. So, in essence, it's not about how close we are to the sun, but how our planet leans towards it. Now that we know why we have seasons, let's imagine what life would be like without them. In this hypothetical world where Earth's axis isn't tilted, we would find ourselves in a perpetual state of sameness, a constant season. The concept of spring blooms, summer heat, autumn leaves, and winter's chill would be foreign to us. The absence of seasonal changes in temperature, light, and weather would create a radically different reality. Without temperature fluctuations, we wouldn't experience the heat of summer or the chill of winter. Our wardrobes would be much simpler without the need for seasonal clothing. We could say goodbye to sweaters and boots or bikinis and flip-flops, as our attire would be the same year-round. The lack of changing sunlight would mean no longer experiencing the long, lazy days of summer or the short, cozy days of winter. This could impact our circadian rhythms, the internal biological clocks that regulate our sleep-wake cycles. We might also miss out on the stunning visual beauty of a long summer sunset or the stark contrast of a winter sunrise. When it comes to weather, the absence of seasons would mean no spring showers, summer thunderstorms, autumn mists, or winter snows. The weather would be monotonous, potentially leading to a lack of water in some regions and an overabundance in others. But it's not just about us humans. A world without seasons would have profound effects on other species too. Many plants and animals rely on seasonal cues for reproduction and migration. Without these cues, ecosystems could be thrown into chaos. Moreover, the absence of seasons might result in fewer plant varieties. Many plants need a cold winter to trigger flowering in the spring. Without this trigger, we might lose some of the most beautiful botanical specimens. In such a world, life as we know it would be drastically different. The rhythms and patterns that have shaped our existence, the beauty of nature's cycle, the thrill of seasonal change, all would be lost. It's a sobering thought that underscores the complexity and delicacy of our planet's natural systems. One of the most noticeable impacts would be on our food system. Let's delve into how a world without seasons would affect our agriculture, including the cycles of crops, animal breeding, and the availability of food. As we know, agriculture is a seasonal business. Farmers plant seeds in the spring, reap the harvest in the summer, and prepare the fields for the next cycle in the autumn. But without the cyclic change of seasons, this rhythm would be lost. Many crops rely on specific seasonal conditions to grow. Apples, for example, require a period of cold weather to produce fruit. Without a winter chill, we might have to say goodbye to our apple pies. The absence of seasons could also disrupt the breeding cycles of livestock. Many animals have evolved to breed during specific times of the year, often aligning their reproductive cycles with the availability of food and favorable weather conditions. Without seasons, the natural rhythm of animal breeding could go out of sync, possibly leading to a decrease in livestock populations. Moreover, without the seasonal cycle, agricultural pests and diseases would have a field day, so to speak. Many pests and diseases are kept in check by harsh winters or dry summers. Without these seasonal checks and balances, pest populations could explode, causing widespread crop failures and food shortages. Seasonal variation also influences the availability and diversity of our food. Many of us look forward to the arrival of seasonal fruits and vegetables, like strawberries in the summer or pumpkins in the fall. Without seasons, our diets could become monotonous, as we would be eating the same foods all year round. And let's not forget the economic implications. Without seasons, farmers would have to adapt to a completely different agricultural calendar. This could lead to increased costs and risks, which would likely be passed on to consumers, making food more expensive. In essence, the absence of seasons might offer a stable climate, but it would also disrupt the rhythm of life we're accustomed to. Agriculture, as we know it, would change dramatically and not necessarily for the better. And it's not just our food system that would be affected, biodiversity would take a hit too. Seasons play a critical role in the survival and behavior of various species. They shape the world's ecosystems, from the icy poles to the tropical rainforests. In a world without seasons, the tapestry of life that we're accustomed to would look entirely different. Animal migration is one of the most apparent ways seasons impact biodiversity. Think about the monarch butterflies that travel thousands of miles to Mexico every winter, or the great herds of wildebeest that follow the rains across the Serengeti. These migrations are timed perfectly to take advantage of seasonal changes in food availability and breeding conditions. Without seasons, these migrations would likely cease to exist, potentially leading to population crashes or even extinction for some species. Plant life, too, dances to the rhythm of the seasons. Many plants rely on the change of seasons to trigger key life events like germination, flowering, and seed dispersal. The cherry blossoms that herald the arrival of spring, the deciduous trees shedding their leaves in the fall, these are all tied to seasonal changes. If the seasons were to disappear, it could result in a mismatch between plants and the pollinators they rely on, disrupting ecosystems and potentially leading to a decrease in plant diversity. Moreover, seasons help maintain the delicate balance of predator-prey relationships. Predators and their prey often have their life cycles synced to the same seasonal cues. Without these cues, the balance could tip in favor of one side, causing a cascade of effects throughout the ecosystem. So it's clear that a world without seasons would have profound impacts on biodiversity. The ripple effects would be felt across the planet, affecting everything from the smallest insects to the largest mammals. The intricate dance of life, so beautifully choreographed by the changing seasons, would be thrown into disarray. Without seasons, the intricate balance of life on Earth would be severely disrupted. So what does this all mean? In essence, seasons are an integral part of life on Earth. We've traversed a journey, understanding their causes, and envisaging a world without them. It's clear that our lives, agriculture, and biodiversity are interwoven with the rhythm of seasons. Without the cyclical dance of spring, summer, autumn, and winter, life as we know it would be drastically different. The ebb and flow of temperature and weather patterns would cease to exist, impacting everything from the food we eat to the diversity of life forms on our planet. Our world is beautifully complex, and seasons are a testament to this intricate balance. They are a reminder of our planet's delicate harmony and the intricate ecological balance that sustains us. So, next time you complain about the heat of summer or the cold of winter, remember, seasons are a vital part of life on our planet.
Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.